Hi guys, this is a video about how to create screw threads on an object, two objects in fact. One object that screws onto another, so both obviously have to have opposing and fitting screw threads. So if you look at this object here, imagine it's like a thumb screw on something. You can see we have a threaded bar here and then it goes up inside that object there. If I go to a section plane for a second, you'll see that we have our cap or screw cap, whatever you want to call it, and we have perfectly fitted threads in there. So we're going to use the indent feature to do that. So we're going to put the screw threads on this part here first, that part, and then we'll use the indent to kind of cut the threads to fit on that one. But how we actually create the screw threads on this one here is using what's called a swept cut. So I'll just go and start a new SolidWorks part. And I'm going to go to the top plane and I'm going to sketch a circle diameter 20. And I will extrude that. Doesn't really matter about the dimensions here. But let's just go features, extrude boss base. And I'll do about 40. I'll do about 60, whatever, doesn't really matter. Okay, and I want to put some threads on that there. Now, I need a plane running down the center of it. Now, I have two, in fact. I have the right plane and I have the front plane. So I can use one of them. If you have your, whatever, the screw thing in an awkward position, you might have to set up a plane to do this. But for the purposes of explaining the concept, I'm just going to use this plane here because it's there and it's ready to go. Now, what I want to do is I want to have a line for the direction of these screw threads. So we're going to be doing a revolve cut and we need some line to tell the cut what direction to go in. So what I'm going to do here is set a line up. I'm not going to start from there because I want my threads to stop maybe there. And I'll just draw that line up so it goes past the object. Okay, if I want to put some dimensions on it to fully define it, okay, let's make that 15. Let's make that there 24. Grand. Okay, as I said, the dimensions don't really matter. So I'm going to end that sketch. What I want to do on the same plane, I want to do a separate sketch. So these have to be in separate sketches. So front plane again, sketch. In fact, what I'll do is I'm going to go back to that one and I'm going to do two center lines. One from here. You'll see why in a minute. And I want it to be aligned there like that. So yeah, I have two points. It's this point here we need, okay? So end that sketch. Again, on the front plane, I want to sketch a polygon this time, and I want it to be a three-sided polygon, a triangle. And I'm going to have my first triangle here. And I want to do it in such a way that the far right-hand side line is vertical, or the tip here is on that line there, okay? So just to make it fully defined, I'm going to select that line at the back and make it vertical. And I'm going to put a dimension on this here, and let's make it 2. So the smaller we make this triangle, the finer the threads are going to be as they cut into the object, okay? Right, so that's the sketch set up. End that sketch. I have two sketches in fact now. I'm going to go to features, swept cut. The profile I want to sweep is the triangle, and the path I want to follow is that straight line. And I want to come down here to options, and I want to go to profile orientation, no, not that one, sorry, it's always the second one, I keep getting them mixed up. I want to go to specify twist value because we're revolving it, we're twisting around an axis, and we go to, instead of degrees, we want to go to number of revolutions. So if I whack that up there to 10, you can see what it's doing. Now, screw threads by their nature, there's a lot more of them, so I'm going to go with 20. Just have a look at an elevation there. Will that look all right? We can always play around with them. I'm going to go to 40 and just see what happens. Might be too many. I'm going to try that there and see what happens. So this could take a while for it to process. I actually kind of like that there. That's kind of good. So now we have our screw threads. Okay, you can see that it ends approximately there. So it's done 40 revolutions of that triangle along that vertical line in that direction. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to this top surface here. I'm going to look down from above and I'm going to sketch a circle from that center point, and just to put dimensions on it, I'm going to go 30. And what I'll do now is extrude it in two directions. So imagine this is going to be a screw cap, so extrude boss base, and I'm going to go two directions. So I'm going to go 10 millimeters up and I'm going to go down. I'm not going to merge result, by the way, definitely do not merge result. And in the second direction, I'm going to come down maybe 30. Let's have a look. So that's our screw thread there. Okay, yeah, I'm happy enough with that. Do not merge result. So what's happening now is we have basically that, it looks fine the way it is, but it's actually not, because it hasn't, we have material on material there, there's a conflict of material. So what we want to do is try create a path for those threads, and we're going to use the indent feature for that. So insert features, indent. The target body or the indented object is this. I'm going to basically cut away from it. And the thing that's doing the cutting is that. This could take a second for this to process, because there's a lot of, I suppose, mathematical calculations going on here to work out the geometry. When that comes through, I'm going to tick the little box over here on the left that says cut. Now, I hope, no, I'm fine. I thought my SolidWorks was going to crash there. So look, that's fine there, cut, green tick, just be patient with it. And again, it looks like nothing has happened, but if I hide this bottom part, we will now see that we have the screw threads, the matching screw threads in there, okay? Now, just as an extra bonus, what I would do there is now I put a bit of a grip on the top of it. So select the top circle, sketch. We've done this in another activity, but I'm just going to do it again. A little circle there, let's say 1 millimeter. And I'm going to extrude cut that through all, so it's going to cut through, we could select it just to cut through that body there at the top, but there's nothing else in its way, so I might as well just go through all. Through all. Grand, and what I'll do now is put some fillet, 2 fillet lines on it. We're going to go with a small fillet of 0.25, I'll try that to begin with. Select that line and that line there. Tick, okay, and I want to replicate that now with a circular pattern. So I'm going to go in here, turn on temporary axis, and you can see anything that's circular will have an axis in it, including the cylindrical cut we just done, but we don't need that. So we go to features, circular pattern. The direction is basically the axis, and the features and faces, I want to select the extrude cut and also the fillet that I just done. Okay, so you can see the two of them there. How many do I want? 40 looks fine. I'll just go with 40. I think it's fine there. Okay, again, this could take a second. I want to turn off my temporary axis now. Does that look okay? Probably does. I'm going to put one big massive fillet on the top to try round them off altogether. I'll go with a 5 millimeter one. Oh, I don't want to select that now. Be careful here. Hopefully this doesn't crash my SolidWorks now. I'm going to unselect that, and I just want to select that top surface in there. Now 5 might be too much. I'll delete that. So now you should be careful here. We want to select that top surface there. Now 5 might be too much for it. A radius of 5. So we'll see now. And it's just the case. Yeah, so it's not giving me a preview. I'll bring it down to 1 and see what that looks like. That looks okay. Let's try 2. Let's be cheeky. Probably won't do it. No, we won't do it. So we go back to the 1 and green tick. Okay, so that's it, done there. So look, I'll just show you. If we go to section plane here, section view, select either the right plane or the front plane, green tick, and you can see that we have perfect threads. Okay, it's as simple as that. There are more complicated ways of creating, or more accurate ways of creating threads, but for the sake of leave insert DCG, I think we should be okay with that. Okay, that's it. Thanks.